I missed last week?
What if I told you all these houses are rent only?
What?
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Rent is $3,000 a month.
Hold on. He lying. Did you know that there are a lot of people on the sidelines when it comes to buying a home because they're convinced that renting is cheaper than buying?
Whole lot, Michaela. A whole lot. We talk to them all the time. Can you help them out today?
I think I can. We've listed 11 fees or costs that are associated when it comes to renting. And I just thought this was important to bring out because we talk about how home ownership can be so expensive. It's looking like renting can ring the cash register as well.
So what would you say the number one fee that a renter is going to have every time they go to rent an apartment or a home?
You're going to have your application fee.
So that's number one. Let's slow down there because there's a narrative out here that the rent is all you pay.
Yeah,
and everything is inclusive and all I got to do is come in there and live. Not so quick. Let's say you have less than stellar credit. How many people do we look at in our daily practice that apply for loans out of 10 being 100%? What percentage of those people would you say have credit scores that are at 640 or less?
8 out of 10.
That's a lot. Right?
Yeah.
And so you may have to have more than one what? Application fee.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So this fee, in my opinion, is something that you as a renter have to consider.
I agree. And not only with the application fee, but then you have the security deposit as well that you have to put in to secure the unit or the home if you're in like you mentioned in your short earlier this week about the subdivision that was made up of
single family homes.
Right. That are for lease or for rent.
Right.
That security deposit it's like, hey, I'm looking at this is what I want, but it's not guaranteed because you have all these other people out here that are wanting to rent.
And you're right. A lot of people don't realize this, especially in metropolitan areas. Everybody wants to live in the best neighborhoods.
Yes.
And hopefully I'm not offending anybody by saying that, but I think you all will agree. And so there's competition for certain properties.
Yeah.
Okay? And so that security deposit, when you said that, I was like, man, that's just kind of like earnest money.
Yeah.
On a purchase contract.
Yeah.
Okay? And say you have 1 to 2 to 3 places that you're interested in, well, you ain't the only one.
Nope.
Okay? Do you have those monies to put security up to see if the person is going to choose you or not?
Mm-hmm.
But that application fee is gone. Application fee to me, when I juxtapose it to buying a home, that's like your inspection fee.
Yeah.
In the renter's case, the landlord is trying to determine if they want you to rent their property. And if you're applying at 2 or 3 places, that's 2 or 3 application fees.
Yep.
Because you're not guaranteed that you're going to get that one.
No.
And then if you do get it, said security deposit doesn't come back.
No.
In all cases.
No.
Okay? So say you get that apartment, the one that you want, that security deposit stays with the landlord.
I love what you're doing, how you're juxtaposing or you're comparing the home buying process to the renting process. Because like you said, application fees are just like inspection fees. You don't get those back. Once they're spent, they're gone. Earnest money and security deposits are very similar. Only thing when it comes to buying a home, in most cases, you get your earnest money back if you end up not buying that home. But the security deposit, it depends. It's case by case. So I agree with what you're saying.
There you have.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say on the list? What's your number 3?
And so say you put your application fee in, you've done your security deposit, you say you're moving in, you're going to get this apartment or this rental property. Then you have your move in and your move out costs.
You don't know how much you got until you have to
move it.
Move it. What was that? I like to
move it.
Let me stop. Go ahead.
But no, that can be very expensive, especially, as I said before, with renters, because rent is going up every year or after your lease has expired. Say you sign a 6-month or a year lease, your rent is increasing
2 to 3% easy
after the
initial lease.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And so you're moving around trying to find the nicest apartment for the cheapest monies. So you're having to, those moving out and moving in costs are more.
This video are for folks that are renting on the fence because you're either waiting for the bubble to burst or you still think you're in the camp that it's less expensive for me to rent opposed to buy.
Right.
And we're not here to tell you you're right or wrong. We're here to give you some things to think about that you may not be considering when you're making that comparison and you're running those numbers. Make sure you add these things in, right? And with moving, here's the thing. There's levels, Michaela. So, I can remember at the time I was always trying to get it for the low.
Yeah.
Right? And you get for the low service.
Yeah.
So when you moving could be anywhere from $200 to thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Depending on what you have, but more times than not, the lower you go on the scale, not only do you have to pay the movers, but then you got to buy new stuff because they broke it all up.
Yep.
Right? If I'm planning on being somewhere a minimum of 5 years, that's what our professional opinion is, opposed to at minimum moving every 2 years.
Yeah.
Some people move every year because when they get that rent notice,
Yeah.
they shopping for the low.
Yep.
Right? But you're not factoring in all the moving, the stuff that you might have to leave behind, the stuff that gets broken, never the same, memorabilia, things of that nature. And then how do we quantify the stress of just being unsettled and getting settled again? There's not a dollar amount for that to me.
No.
What say you?
No, I agree. I was just about to say that the disruption of your life, because moving is very stressful, making sure you have everything. And like you said, I didn't even think about that. The moving from one place to the other, you got to drive your stuff over there. Just imagine all of the glassware. And I know for me, for my ladies out there, we have little dainty china and things like that. If it's not packaged properly and you're dealing with movers that really don't care, it's more than likely that that stuff's going to be broken. And if it's a memorabilia to you, you can't put any dollar amount on that.
So I think we hit that point. What's your fourth point?
Pet fees.
Oh.
For your little fur babies.
Editor, put a picture of my Nalawala right here. Yeah.
Yes. But no, when you're moving into a house, you don't have to pay for a pet fee. You can bring whatever you want because it's your house.
Pet fees are expensive. What if your breed is not acceptable?
Right.
So now again, you're at application. It's just a lot of stress. Okay, so there's costs that are involved that you aren't factoring in. And the more times you move, those costs, those start over. You don't build equity that you can move from house to house or from rental to rental. You got to pay that stuff over and over again.
And to move on to the next point, then you have storage fees.
Number 5, storage fees.
And that's with, like you said, if you're moving from one place to another, the place you're moving into may the space not be comparable to what you had before. So now you can't fit everything in your apartment or your rental home, and you got to put it in storage. That's an extra fee a month. And storage containers are very expensive.
Isn't it funny to you that the apartment that you rent is never large enough to put your stuff in?
Never.
But the little box downstairs that they have, the storage box, that's extra money. Yeah. Okay? Extra money. So storage in some of these places is a huge revenue generator. Yep. Okay? So, yeah, think about storage. You got to pay for the extra stuff, and a lot of us love our stuff.
Yes.
Love our stuff. So factor that into the cost as well. That was number 5.
And then to hit the 6th point, I'm going to combine a few things into this bucket because these are, I just want to say, basic apartment fees.
Okay.
So if you have a car, you're going to have to pay for parking, somewhere to park your car. People come and spray for like pests or insects usually. That's
monthly.
Another fee.
Yeah.
Then you have trash. The people to come pick up your trash. That's a fee. Yeah. And then if you don't have a washer or a dryer located in your apartment,
they got one at the apartment complex.
They want to have one at the apartment complex.
It's convenient.
But it's not free.
Yeah, as the homie said, shout out to Kai.
Yes.
Convenience kills.
It does.
And in this case, it's killing your pockets.
Yes.
Softly.
Yes.
Quietly.
Yes.
My bad.
But no, so you've got parking, you've got pests, you've got trash, you've got laundry, and then if you're at a really nice complex, you may have a pool and a gym, which are your
amenity fees.
Yep.
That's to get in the club. Yeah, your $2,000 is got you on the property.
Yes.
But if you want to be with the cool people to get into the club, then again, it's a business, guys. And all joking aside, here's the deal. Nothing's free. And if you think that renting, just your rental monthly cost is your only cost, you're sadly mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a good number 6.
Yes. And then my last one, number 7.
7.
Are your utilities. And as you said before, that one's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
Because you have utilities with renting, and then you have utilities with buying a home. Because you need running water, gas, or electricity. That's just going to come with whatever residence you live in.
Amen. Can we recap? Just go 1 through 7?
Yep. So first you've got application fees. You've got your security deposit. You've got moving in and moving out costs. You have pet fees, storage fees, and then the 6, parking, pest, trash, laundry, your amenities, and then lastly you have your utilities.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. We are giving you tools that you can use to quantify if it makes sense for you to become a homeowner. You didn't hear me say everybody, because there's not absolute on anything.
Right.
Okay? So for those of you that are on the fence and you've been told that renting is less expensive, now you have 7, really 11 things to consider when you're trying to make that decision. We would love an opportunity to speak with you to help you make that decision, because you know what they say, Michaela, teamwork, what does it do?
Makes the dream work.
Makes the dream work, baby.
Lastly, if you're going to be paying somebody, I say pay yourself. You have to pay every month for somewhere to live, so why not be paying towards your own property? Why not own your own real estate where you get tax benefits, you get the living benefits, and overall it's just beneficial to you with the appreciation of the property over time, as opposed to paying rent, which is a liability. You're paying somebody else's mortgage instead of paying your own.
I love it. Hey guys, for great insight like that and for more content like this, watch this video.
Yes.
Our time is up, but we thank you for yours. As we always say, let's be good to one another. Let
grace abound.
And until the next time,
peace.
Y'all be blessed.